Good afternoon, all. Guess who is Picto level 90? Couldn't be you, right? No. It's gotta be someone else. Yeah, I was gonna say, aren't you working today? So, today is gonna be a little interesting, because I'm gonna stream for about 2 hours now. Get off, do some things, come back. Maybe 2 to 4 hours again when I get back. And then that will probably be it for today until Friday at the earliest, because I will be away tomorrow. Oh yes, I do have what's it called? I took a picture and a video of him. Let's see. I'll put it in the Discord now. See you later, Lavitz. Also, the video is in the Discord. Yeah, you're telling me. I'm pretty sure I did tell you. And he will not stop. Oh, this guy can fly already? Good news, though. I did some stuff offline, so I'm actually very close to level 100. I got Ninja to 92. Astrologian is 91. Botanist is almost 94. I don't even remember what I did with these, but I did some stuff. Yeah, every time I go there, if I'm eating, he will just shriek like that, and he will not stop. I fell again. Ooh, I will actually die if I don't be careful. I actually really like the astro changes. I am still getting used to it. It's not like first hand yet. Like, I have to remember which card is which, but I like it a lot. Oh, let me do this so I don't lose sound every time. Beautiful. It's not that bad. Like, if I switch over now, I'll use my astral draw. This slot is also always the damage. I just have to remember astral means melee, umbral means ranged. This is the increases incoming healing by 10%. This is the shield. And then when I use umbral, ranged damage up, this becomes, I think it actually switches, and this is the hot, and this is the bowl, which is mid. So, like it said, the middle slot was reserved for mitigation, but like this being a shield is definitely mitigation, and this being an increase to, what's it called, incoming healing is not really mitigation. I'd consider that more as just like healing support. So that's what throws me off, because I can't just remember like DPS, mit, healing, because these two they kind of switch. But I'll get used to it. It's not that hard. It is also like when you want to throw out a bunch of cards at once, and you're also trying to weave it in between your malefics. Sometimes I'll like accidentally throw it on myself, but again, I will get used to it. Okay, MSQ time. Aaronvale looks upon Usulani in disbelief. It doesn't make sense. That tower, was it always there? No, definitely not. Nor the wall over there. The material is not something we use in Tural. It's closer to what we saw at the gate of Golden City, or those mechanical soldiers. Such a massive structure couldn't possibly have been built in so short a time. Then I'm inclined to assume that we've been transported to another location. Or perhaps, maybe another time period? Well, speculation will avail us naught. We need to learn more before we can draw conclusions. Let's take a look around then. So I also unlocked the increased mount speed in all 4 of these places. I don't know if I actually got it for Shalonia. I might have forgotten to pick up the scroll. Let's see, mount speed. Yeah, I did forget to get it in Shalani. That looks like a train station, doesn't it? Well, I see tracks, so that must be Yosolani Station, where the passengers disembarked. Then perhaps we'll find someone to talk to there. Let's go and investigate. Let's go, Torgal. Pick up the speed. I'm pretty sure this is Yosolani Station. But from the state of it, I'd swear it was abandoned years ago. I'm not sure what to make of this. We should look around a bit more. You find a train turntable. The thick layers of rust suggest it hasn't been used in years. Some more rusty stuff over here. The tracks are heavily rusted. It would seem they haven't been tended to for a long while. The building is rotting husk. It has been clearly many years since anyone lived here. Finished poking around, have you? Let's gather everyone then. I want you all to take a look at this. It's one of the mechanical soldiers. Long since broken, apparently. But I'd say its presence confirms this indeed Zoralja domain we're in. Okay. What about the rest of you? Did you learn anything? Yeah. Everything's rusted over like it hasn't been used. So all evidence suggests that this is Yosolani Station. Aye. And I've no doubt we're in Yosolani, but I don't understand why these buildings are so run down. They were completed barely a year ago. For new structures to deteriorate and enormous ones to appear in a flash, if I didn't know better, I'd say time flows differently here. What? Is such a thing even possible? We have encountered this phenomenon before, as so it happens. Though it may be difficult to believe, our world is but one several. In some respects, they are similar to one another, but in others, wholly different. We call them reflections. We know this. Simply put, the rifts between dimensions cause time to flow at a different pace in each world, while hours pass in one, years may have come and gone in another. But if this is Yosolani, then we should still be in the source. The time of flow should be synchronized. I'm not sure I follow all of this talk of reflections and dimensions, but if Erenvale says this is Yosolani, then it must be. Your village is a little further along, right? Erenvale. Oh, Yes, it's a short distance to the northwest. Let's head there next then. Rather than talk theory, it's always better to confirm things firsthand. May I be of assistance? It's still functioning? It doesn't seem to be hostile, at least. Perhaps we can ask it some questions. Can you tell us where we are? Access denied. Unable to confirm credentials. Please present citizenship identification. Does Aaronvale have that? Seems it's broken after all. It's too strange by half. Let's leave it be and get going. I need to change my outfit actually because we're going into battle, so it's time to shed the vacation attire. They do look like lightning rods. Are we in the Thunder Plains? Would you accompany me for a moment? There's something I wish to investigate. Alright, hold that thought. I'll be right back. Oh wait, is this a sanctuary? It is. Perfect. Change glamour plate link. This is the new look. I do want to change the shoes though, I think, because I like this without the dye as well. How did I do that before? Alright, let's go back to here for just a minute and fix this. Although these look cool too, so I don't know. I just wish I could change the color purple. Can I though? Make it a darker purple. That looks too dark though. Way too dark. That's better. See, this was the issue. This was the best one out of the purples. Those are all gross looking. No. I might keep this. What if I changed this to purple and made the rest blue? Actually, I might do that. Good day, Mr. Fresh. Let's go to the inn for a second. I don't know. Do you? I'm not really that big on Chick-fil-A, to be honest. I mean, it's not bad. Just not really one of my top choices. Although, one of my friends ate Chick-fil-A like for like a month straight. Because he was like really addicted to it. I'm not a hater. I promise. I don't know about that purple. or that one. Where's the dark purple? That just looks black. So no. I just don't like any of these, really. Maybe this one. And then I change the shoes. Reflect gloves. No, I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that either, to be honest. Wow. Interesting food groups you got there. I did dye them though, right? Okay, here's what I'll do. I like the purple a lot better when the shoes are black. Oh, I love cheese too. Don't get me wrong. Alright. Which shoes do we like better? The black and purple? Or these purple, gray, and blue? I definitely like the purple better on these. This is too light. But I like the blue better on these. And this doesn't have that. Although I can dye these. Oh, it is dual dye color too. So hold on a second. Oh. Let's say go dye too. That is a look. Hold on a second. Let's do the first one purple. Second one blue. Okay, now if I do it, it has to be all or nothing. Purple is the superior color. I agree. I don't like the teal. What about white? Let's see what white looks like. No. What if I switch? Maybe that. I actually think I like that. Because I really like this purple better than this purple. So we're going to do that. And it kind of looks metal too. Give me one of these. What the heck? Oh, that's Byakumin. That's why it's in there. I don't know if I need one of these, but I'll take one. Remove. Save for now. I need a... Where is it? Dispeller. How do I even do this? Desynthesis, cast. It's gotta be a cast glamour, right? Remove. Yeah, there we go. And I want it over there. Done. Love it. Okay. Let's get back to what we were supposed to be doing. Look, there. Lightning appears to be drawn to those pole-shaped structures over yonder. The design suggests that some manner of lightning rod. Yeah. Let's go and take a... Why would we take a closer look? I don't want to get struck by lightning. There's also these giant dog-like beings with huge frickin' sabers. This material appears to be the same as that used in mechanical soldiers and warships. On closer inspection, it appears to bear fine etchings, rather reminiscent of arcane runes. These, I suspect, they're not merely decorative. I would posit its use to harness lightning as a source of energy. Quite impressive technology. I'll share this observation with Yashola. For a blessing, the dame doesn't appear to interfere with link pearls. Thanks for accompanying me. Let's head to the village and find the others. Alright, enjoy your dinner. Yeah, it's about lunchtime for me too, but I already ate, so I'm good. What in the world?
It's in ruins. But why? What happened here?
Well, if time does go by, I'm gonna assume faster.
And where is everyone?
That's probably why.
I had a look in a few of the other houses, but they had clearly been abandoned.
Damn it all. None of this makes sense.
Excuse me? Are you looking for someone?
An actual person? Oh, is that the maiden? It is. I feel like she's an android, though. I don't think she's 100% human.
I apologize for giving you a fright. However, I did have reason to keep to the shadows. Sorolja has told me a great deal about you.
Oh, so she's evil.
Sorolja.
Greetings, and welcome to the realm of Alexandria.
Alexandria?
I am Sphene, the Queen of Reason.
Queen of Reason?
If you are the Queen of Reason, is there perhaps a...
King?
Yes, if you mean to ask if there is a King of Resolve.
Zoralja.
Zoralja holds that title, and together do we reign.
Then you are both behind the attack on Tulihiola.
And I doubt you're here to offer us a warm reception.
Yeah, I agree.
No, you have it all wrong. I am not come to fight. Zoralja rules alongside me, but that is a matter of expedience. In truth, we are at odds, he and I. It is at considerable risk to myself and my people that I come before you to beg your aid.
Our aid? I'll admit I cannot imagine King Zorolja is keen to share and share alike. But if what you say is true, you're still the queen.
Indeed. But I was once the sole ruler of Alexandria.
And how did he become king?
Until one day, he appeared, bent on conquest. In my weakness, I feared his power. So I persuaded him to forego violence and strike a bargain. I would remain queen, and he would receive technology that would empower him to achieve even loftier ambitions, along with the knowledge to use it. A gamble, to be sure, but if it might spare my people...
If I may, the dome surrounding these lands was erected but recently. How is it he was able to not only invade, but instate a new system of leadership in a mere matter of days?
Yeah. Unless it wasn't days.
I've never heard of your realm. And this place is, or at least was, Yasulani. The house I grew up in is still here. But 3 years ago, that tower and these strange contrivances weren't. Nor was our village in ruins. Where did you come from? And what happened to the people who lived here? You must know.
It says something on her back.
I realize how confusing this all must be. Truth be told, I don't fully understand it myself. What I can say is that one day, People from your Tuliolol suddenly appeared here in Alexandria. Or perhaps it was we who found ourselves in Tuliolol. Until but recently, we were completely unaware of events taking place beyond the barriers surrounding our realm.
Does this not remind you of the Crystal Tower? How after the 8th Umbral Calamity, we devised a means to transport the Spire across time and space from the source unto the first.
Yeah.
Granted, this is on a much larger scale, if that is indeed what has happened. Not only the people and structures, but also the surrounding environment. Regardless, the people of Lakeland perceived the arrival of the Crystal Tower much as the Queen describes her own experience. Sudden and inexplicable.
Well then, you appear to have a better grasp of our circumstances than we do. Indeed, more than I dared hope. In which case, a closer examination of the effects of this phenomenon may afford us more insights. Allow me to take you to the outskirts. A number of the Shatona live there as well. Perhaps your acquaintances are among them.
I'm gonna say no.
Hold on. If we accept, there's no guarantee we're not walking into a trap.
But if we're to defeat Zorolja, we need to understand how he grew so strong. Besides...
You're right.
Queen Sphene, before we go, Your Majesty, I have to ask, did you really have nothing to do with the attack on Tuliolol?
Noble Wook Lamart, shall we dispense with the formalities?
That's not an answer.
I'll not deny the soldiers and airships that attacked your people are products of Alexandria. But it was Zorolja, not we, who fashioned them into weapons of war and laid siege to Tuliolol.
So he alone is to blame.
That makes it even worse, actually.
No, I may not have prosecuted this war, but I nevertheless bear responsibility for it.
Because you didn't stop it.
Perhaps. I know next to nothing about you, let alone what you've been through. So by all means, show us around. I think we'll learn a lot from meeting your people.
Wonderful! If you would follow me.
I'm still suspicious. I take it there will be trouble as Zorolja hears of this?
Is that concern or suspicion?
Suspicion.
If things should take a turn for the worse, might I call upon your aid?
I guess. I mean, everyone else does.
I jest, of course,
Oh, good.
but you do strike me as the most capable here.
Who is this one? Yeah, I don't think that was the most important thing. Also, hello, Luigi. Good afternoon. How are you doing today? I think it goes without saying, but we're not going to trust her just like that, right? No, we are not. Any way you look at it, a mysterious girl who appears out of nowhere proclaiming herself queen is suspicious. Agreed. Alize is inclined to keep a close eye on the queen. Well, having established that we should be wary, we could use more information. So let's head to this palace, the outskirts, and see what we can learn. Perhaps Fiend as well. Is this where they grow their agriculture? I trust you have similar farming facilities in Tural? They're completely different from ours. I've got no idea what all those machines do. We settled on the approach after some trial and error. The Turali have their own methods of farming, which they wanted to continue employing, but the environment makes it challenging. There's too much rain and not enough light. Thankfully, but the use of electrope has allowed us to fortify the buildings here, as well as provide what nature cannot. Electro what? Electrope. It's material we use for myriad devices and applications. A topic for another time, perhaps. If you would follow me, we're nearly to the outskirts. Huh. Cool bridge.
Here we are. Though you'll doubtless find much of what you see in Alexandria strange, the traditional agriculture practiced in this village at least should be familiar.
Man, I need a stretch. What are those things on their heads?
What business brings her here, I wonder?
Are they like trackers or something?
The queen has come!
You look well, Paquine. And Katonye, I see you've already taken to your new position.
When she introduced herself as queen, I was expecting someone colder. Honestly, she reminds me of you, Lamachi.
Me?
It's only natural for a ruler to love her people. And I should like to know them as best I can, even the most trifling details.
Good idea.
The more you come to know them, the more you grow to love them. Who they are and what they've built.
That's it. Beautifully put.
And it would appear that she is well loved in turn.
Does seem that way.
Your Majesty, you honor us with your presence. And who are these fine people?
Tuliolol's vow of resolve, Wuk-Lamat, and her companions. They come from beyond the barrier, but you needn't worry. They are good people and are to be treated as my honored guests.
The rumors of a link to the outside are true, then. Wuk-Lamat is still so young. Where are my manners? I am Popone, a leader of sorts of the people living out here.
Papone? That is a Tonawaktanrig to it.
Not like I know where that
You
is, but
are. I take it you hail from this region as well? Teshpiani, perhaps?
I don't think that's where we're from. Where he's
Yes, I do. I don't suppose
Oh.
you know a woman by the name of Kafkiwa.
from. Kafkiwa.
Kafkiwa.
Yes.
I'm afraid I'm not sure if I've ever met someone with that name.
Mother isn't here. But it's a relief to know at least some of the people of Yasulani are alive.
Maybe
and well.
she is here, but has a different name.
Your mother, you say? Now that you mention it, I do see the resemblance.
You know my mother?
I do. Yes.
Then tell me, please. Where is she?
I cannot say. Not here, but I promise I will in due time.
So she can say that in front of the G.I. Joe guard over there, but she can't say where he
Do
is.
you recall what happened the day the dome first appeared?
The barrier? Well, I remember fixing a shelf that had collapsed after a terrible earthquake. Then the ground began to tremble. There was a brilliant flash of light, and then...
It just appeared.
Forgive me, my recollection of it all is rather poor.
You needn't push yourself, Popone. After 30 years, no one could blame you for not remembering.
30 years? As in 30 years in the past?
Yeah, I knew time went faster here.
Absurd though it may sound, there is no doubt in my mind the events that led to the joining of our lands occurred 30 years ago. Which is not to say I understand why our perceptions of the
Cool
intervening
trees.
time are so radically different. We only just became aware of the discrepancy when Zoralja's military base was completed, and we were at last able to venture beyond the barrier.
I believed you long dead. To have the chance to kill you myself is an unforeseen blessing.
Years. Little wonder Zoralja assumed our father had already passed away.
It's not unlike how time passes differently in the First and the Source. The fluctuating space of the rift between them disrupting temporal equivalence. Perhaps the same holds true here, and time flowed faster within the dome.
Seems like that's the only explanation we got so far. Do you suppose time is still passing faster here?
I was able to make contact with Yestola not long ago via link pearl, so that shouldn't be cause for concern. And based on the Queen's account, this encampment may have come to serve as a physical bridge between the two planes, after which the dome was forced into the source's temporal flow.
If we're to be certain of anything, we need more information. Sveen, would it be all right if we had a look around and spoke with the townspeople?
By all means.
Yeah, because if she said no, guess what? We were still doing
Time to see
that.
what we can see of Alexandria, then.
Yes, let's go explore Alexandria.
And its people. I may yet find familiar faces among the survivors from Yasolani.
That's all you.
Even if I don't understand the half of it, I would learn more of this place before we confront Zorolja.
Perhaps you'd care to see how we make our living.
Not really.
Though we have always prided ourselves on the use of traditional Tonawatan farming methods, the use of electro-fueled technologies has led to countless agricultural and...
Whoops.
I would join you as well.
Ma'am, please, you needn't trouble yourself.
It's no trouble at all. And I promise not to cause any manner of distraction.
Reassuring words, or they would be had I not heard them countless times before. Very well, but do be careful.
Of course. I shall proceed with the utmost care.
Kind of like his gear.
Now then, if you two would follow me, we can begin the tour.
All right.
I can't say that I trust her yet, but I trust that her affection for these people is genuine. And that's enough for me.
Hey, Ivan. Good afternoon. How's your day going? Electrope has done much to improve the efficiency of their farming, but hasn't replaced everything. The people wanted to preserve their old way of life, and we did not want to force ours upon them. You went to such lengths so that our culture could coexist, even going so far as to learn our tongue. So I'm sure everyone appreciated that. Communication was thankfully not an issue, for the Turali tongue is surprisingly similar to Alexandrian. Of course, there are words and phrases for which there is no equivalent, but those can be taught with minimal effort. Through mutual respect, understanding, and patience, we Alexandrians of Turali have learned a great deal from one another. I'm sure there's much you wish to learn as well, so please, if you have questions, do not hesitate to ask. I will not. I'm doing pretty good as well. Let me see. The outskirts. East Yasolani. So that's considered our Alexandria. Electrope. Okay. Sveen is eager to show you around. Rather than bore you with lengthy explanations, let us head back to the farm we passed earlier. Yuyipe's Halo, it is called. We can speak with one of the farmers when we arrive. I guess we're up to Yuyipe. Oh, I almost tried to teleport. Oh, is this deep enough to fly over? Okay, it is. Good. Oh, we're actually going on the farm. the entrance. Is that it? Can I just jump over? Yeah, I can. Mahusa. Allow me to introduce you to Mahusa, one of the most experienced farmhands in all of Alexandria. She's well versed in myriad farming techniques. Indeed, the wealth of knowledge she has shared with the other farmers is what has allowed this place to flourish. Queen Sphene, to what do I owe this sudden shower of praise? My apologies for the interruption. I am come with guests from beyond the barrier. They wish to learn more of Alexandria, and so I invited them to see how our crops have grown. I do hope that's alright. So the rumors of visitors from outside were true. What manner of host would we be to deny them a look around? And I gather your majesty also intends to check on things here? You know me too well, Mahusa. I thought to seize this opportunity to see how the farmers fare, and perhaps pepper them with a few questions? Though I do enjoy observing and taking part in work too. 'Twould appear we have permission, so please, walk the grounds to your heart's content. I mean, I think I've already done that. You go on ahead. I'll keep Sphene company. Don't misunderstand, I'm not the suspicious type, but given our positions, it would make sense for us to go around together, wouldn't it? A fair point, but be sure not to let me out of your sight. I shall remain under Wuklamot's watchful eye. Pray come find us after you've seen your fill and spoken with the other farmlands. And jump. What the? These look like... I'm gonna say they're potatoes, but they also look like peanuts. Okay. Now they look like potatoes. Elias? Light levels appear to be fine. As for the power source? You wish to know about my job? I tend to the fields mostly, watering the crops, keeping the soil fertile, and so on. It admittedly took some time until I fully understood how to best carry out my duties. I also manage the lamps we use in the fields. We do our best to keep everything up to code, but should they ever start to malfunction, it's up to me to fix them. The land and sky being what they are, ensuring a rich harvest makes for consistent work. But, honestly, I enjoy how involved the process is. Both my parents being Alexandrian, I didn't grow up knowing much of anything about farming. Every day is an opportunity to learn and grow. I get what you did there. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I don't think it's anything on my end. Because everything looks good to me. But that does make sense. Oh, an unfamiliar face. I gather this is your first time on site then? Well, this here's the storehouse, or rather the entrance. The real storehouse is underground. Much more spacious and equipped with a temperature regulation system to keep the harvest from spoiling. Since the entrance is so small, it's much easier to prevent wild beasts from wandering inside, which also makes it a viable facility for breeding and raising livestock. We've even got a few beds down there for emergencies. My parents often complain about how Alexandrian technology and electrobe complicate our lives, but it's just a matter of learning how things work. Take my job, for instance. I'm presently overseeing the storage of harvested crops. They'll be taken up to the tower for processing, and from there find their way to every dining table in Alexandria. The work is hard, I'll not deny, but I take great satisfaction in what we do. I mean, they all seem to enjoy their jobs, so that's good. More than most people can say these days. They're saying that you and yours are visitors from beyond the barrier. That true? So which is it? So it is. Which means we're connected to the outside world again. Not that I have a desire to leave, mind you. I'm quite content with life here in Alexandria. But, setting that aside, you are here to observe our work, right? As you can see, I'm in charge of livestock. Here in Yupe's Halo, we produce not only fruits and vegetables, but also meat, poultry, and eggs. Tending the animals is absolutely a joy, but I have to be careful not to grow attached. It's always a little sad when they're shipped off, but a job is a job. Well, I need to get back to it, but it was nice talking to you. Please, give my regards to the Queen. This is the perfect mount for this area. Or the horse from Ramu EX, or the mount from E8. I see. Don't be too hard on yourself. Anyone would have been hard-pressed to deal with such a thing. Oh, welcome back. My apologies for failing to notice your return. I gather you've had your fill of speaking with the farmers? Let us return to Mausa then. Okay, I know you've been talking about this a lot. What the heck is a termaya? Well, what are your impressions of the farm? I was amazed that everyone loves their work. Where I come from, nobody does. A curious observation, do you not love your own work? Oh, but I jest. It's true that people of the outskirts seem most of their fulfilled. Hell, always. They take to their duties with good cheer. And what did you think of our little Lamati? What did you think of our tour, Lamati? Well, what did you call me? Was that inappropriate? My apologies, I heard the others call you by that name and I thought... No, it's fine. As you said before, we've no need for titles and formalities. As for my thoughts, I was very impressed. That machines could be used to overcome so harsh an environment is amazing. I've never seen anything like it. The feeling is understandable, indeed. Many still find the machinery behind me baffling. It's a system that controls the distribution of water to the fields and livestock. It's been acting up lately, though. Acting up, you say? I hope they don't ask me to fix it, because I have absolutely no idea how to fix something like that. You needn't worry, my queen. It happens fairly often. Put simply, it's taken in water that had a strong lightning charge. We think some creatures have become charged up with energy, and they're releasing it into the river, which we use as a source. The system would return to normal if the creature were dealt with, but I'm reluctant to beg it of the army. We could take care of it if you'd like. Why do you keep volunteering us to do these things? This is the most gracious of offer to you, but it's much too dangerous. Oh, it's not for trouble for the vow of resolve, Tuliolal. Regardless of how the relationship between our nations may develop, if there are people in need, I want to help. Simple as that. And Tiny is even stronger than I am. It shouldn't take us long at all. Then very well. I gratefully accept. But please, take all care. This ought to go even faster if you and I searched for the lightning-charged fiends on our own. Good hunting. Alright, time to go hunting. Welcome back, Fresh. I mean, this isn't lightning, but this fits the area too. Five push-ups and 5 V-ups and a handstand and oh my god. Anything else you wanna add to the list? Thanks for that. It really was. Now I want to see it. Ah, there it is. And how long has it been? Okay. Not the stuffed animal. Ah, you're both all right. Thank goodness. You really don't. You really needn't worry much. We barely spoke. You really needn't have worried so much. We barely broke a sweat dealing with the fiends. Of course I was worried. You're my dear guests. But thank you. We truly appreciate this. Indeed, with this, we won't have to ask the Roll-Jaws machines for help. Well, that's good, because I assume you don't want to ask him for help at all. with anything. He's been making a concerted effort to bolster his forces, sparing a fraction of the people's protection. Although, if you did ask him for help, wouldn't that mean he has to divert some of his resources? He thinks nothing of our safety, unlike Queen Sphene. That's enough, Mousa. If you have grievances, I will hear them later. But to speak of the king now... No, she's right. He's never been one to look after his people. Anyway, thanks for letting us tour the farm. The folk here are delightful, and it was a pleasure to meet them. You couldn't have favored us with more uplifting words. My people have pride and joy. And you never fail to let us know, nor how much you care. Of course, you're my precious family, all of you. But you'll forgive me if I'm not ready to lower my guard for the enemy queen just yet. Yeah, it's definitely going to take some time for that. Oh, for you to be called that, I dread to imagine what villainy your majesty has committed. Come now, this is no laughing matter. A ruler is responsible for the welfare of countless lives, and one wrong decision can lead to untold suffering. Failure is unconscionable. Now, I believe we are done with the farm. Let's move on, shall we? Complete. May 11th? Wow, you have it down to the day? I gotta start using all these foods. I'm getting so many and I'm not using any of them. They're just gonna take up space. Which, I worked so hard to get my inventory cleaned. We're not going back. On the cloud. Sphene would take you back to the outskirts. Perhaps we should head back to the outskirts? I dare say your friends will also have returned by now. My thanks again for dealing with the fiends. Come and visit us anytime. I mean, maybe. You never know. Maybe they thought you were going to share it. Or maybe you can use both straws for more efficiency. Do you hear that? No.
What's happening over there?
It's nearly time.
Time for what? Don't I know it?
I'm glad you could make it.
Who is that? That's
Are
Peshkawa?
you with us?
Queen Sphene has come to see you. We're here, Namika.
Namika.
Everything is going to be all right.
Yeah, that is the one who... That was Wuklamao's servant.
What's the matter, dear?
Where is she? Okay, she just called her Namika. She looks almost exactly the same.
Can't be.
It is. Go talk to her.
That's the bangle I gave to Namika.
That is Namika.
You know her.
Of course I know her. She was like a mother to me.
I see. She was always willing to lend a kindly ear to others, but rarely did she ever speak of herself.
Is it really you?
She must have arrived shortly before the barrier manifested. For us it was perhaps days, but for her...
It was 30 years, damn.
Namika, it's me. Wuklamat.
I'm afraid her time with us is nearly at an end.
Damn.
Has she no more soul cells?
She always used hers sparingly, but at her age, it wouldn't make a difference.
Does that have something to do with the piece on their head?
Ma'am, the ushers have arrived.
Are they taking her away?
Thank you, Namika, for your many years of friendship. Take comfort in the knowledge that this is not the end.
Seems like it's the end to
Be
me.
not afraid. Your memory will live on. In us.
Memories are nice, but that's all they are.
Living on in memory. The giants share a similar belief.
Wait, where are you taking her?
Worry not. She is being escorted to a medical facility in the tower. There we will ease her burden.
So they're gonna kill her?
I had hoped to make arrangements for her sooner, but she wished to remain here for as long as possible. I could not bring myself to refuse her.
Is there any way I might stay with her for a little while longer? We may not share the same blood, but she was my mother. Please.
First father, now mother. That's rough.
Let us give them some time alone.
She didn't speak, but I'm grateful that I could be with her at the end. Thank you.
It's not the end.
Hmm?
Oh, nothing. I was just thinking that we have much to discuss. Where shall we begin?
Does she...
With what we can be reasonably certain of, perhaps. Between what we have witnessed and the testimony of Alexandria's inhabitants, it's safe to say that two distinct lands have indeed become one. What's more, having met Namika, there is no denying the divergence in the passage of time. Taken together, these phenomena strongly suggest that some manner of cross-rift displacement has occurred. Specifically, the displacement of Alexandria from another reflection to the source.
It does seem the most likely explanation.
What perplexes me, however, is the scale of said displacement. It far exceeds what could conceivably be achieved with a void gate, or even with the Crystal Tower. In essence, we are dealing with a localized instance of dimensional compression. The Ascians would no doubt liken it to a rejoining.
Don't even mention them.
Which invites the question, how was such a feat accomplished?
I wish that I had an answer for you, but this talk of reflections and dimensions is well beyond my understanding. I can only tell you that we lived peacefully under the barrier's protection for many, many years, until the day that peace was suddenly broken.
If I may clarify, the barrier predates Alexandria's displacement.
By several hundred years, yes. To when the continent we call home was ravaged by a devastating cataclysm. The barrier was erected to isolate us from the surrounding land's innocuous influence.
I see. And it was only later that it was whisked away, along with its contents, by means unknown.
In other words, Speen's as lost as the rest of us, right? The Alexandrians didn't mean to end up in Tural.
Yeah.
But of course, our next stop ought to be Everkeep. That tower over yonder.
Okay.
Once you have been registered as my guests, you will have access to Solution 9 and its residential district, where you will doubtless gain invaluable insight into Alexandria's state of affairs.
We're almost at Solution 9.
Unfortunately, I cannot take you directly to where Zoralja resides.
That's okay. I just want to get there. Well, right now. Eventually I want to get there too.
Goes a long way toward proving you're not content to let Zoralja do as he pleases.
Unless it's a trap.
But we're not talking about a simple difference of opinion here. I've come to avenge my father. And to do so, I intend to take Zoralja's life. Are you willing to stand by and allow Alexandria's king to be slain?
A fair question.
I think we're going to get a lengthy answer.
Permit me to answer it thus. My people come first. Their welfare is paramount. I will do everything in my power to keep them from harm. It is a ruler's duty. Now, I am off to register you at Everkeep. It may take some time, but you shall find the entrance open to you in due course. Oh, and ere I forget, your mother, Kafkiwa, you might try the Thunder Yards to the east.
Okay.
The Thunder Yards? Is that where she is?
She said might.
I'm afraid I can say no more than that. Make for the Thunder Yards, and all will be made clear.
Okay, so it seems like he'll definitely get an answer. I hope she's not dead. I still really want to know what those things are.
It's not as if we have other pressing business. Not until we can get into this Everkeep, anyway. Thank you for earlier. And for being a friend to Namika these past 30 years. It means a lot to me.
Namika? Sorry, but I don't know who you mean.
What? Get the queen back here right now.
What? We were just with her. If this is some sort of a joke, it isn't funny.
I don't mean to give offense, but I honestly have no idea who you are talking about. I'm sorry.
How can you not know who she is? You're in charge here. She was under your care.
We all saw it.
Then in all likelihood, my memories of her have been stored in the cloud.
What?
Any person seemingly forgotten without reason is probably there, in the cloud. Oh, I really must be getting back to work. If you'll excuse me.
So, people die or get taken away, and they all have their memories of them wiped. Also, the queen said multiple times that this isn't the end for her. So, what does that mean? Yeah, I agree. Oh, okay. Well. Yeah, I was gonna say that's weird because after you said that message, I got other messages on Twitch, so. Also, hello, Cater Johns. What's going on? How could Pepone suddenly forget about Namika? It's as if he never knew her. Could the same thing have happened to the others as well? I wonder. There's only one way to find out. Let's make inquiries about Namika in the area. We can reconvene afterward at the Aetherite. Is no one gonna remember her? Yeah, I agree. An old woman named Namika? I'm afraid I don't know that person. I'm sorry I couldn't be of help. Yeah, no one's gonna know her. I do recall caring for someone until recently. And you say that is a woman named Namika? Well, I can't say for certain if it was her. I wouldn't worry. I'm sure she's just been taken up to the cloud. From the back, that kind of looks like Lena. What's that? Do I know Namika? Never met anyone by that name, and I've worked at the outskirts for a good while now. If she'd spent time here, I would remember. So it was the same for everyone. Not a single person remembers Namika. It's as if the memory of hers has been purged from their minds. While such a thing might be done with magic, to alter the memories of so many at once would be a tremendous undertaking. We have felt a surge of aether corresponding to the act too, and I sensed none of it at the moment. Neither did I, but I did notice something else. Right before Pipone seemingly forgot, a light in the device on his head began to blink. Could be the connection, right? Someone also said something about soul cells. But who might we ask about this? If we continued making such inquiries, I expect we would only cause confusion. Indeed, we can't readily solve the mystery about Namika. Perhaps we could search for Kohicha instead? Sphene said try the Thunder Yards. It should be in this direction. I do think we should ask Sphene about it. What is that thing? Impossible. Another kind of mechanical soldier? It looks dangerous. We better destroy it. I really don't think that looks dangerous. Whoa. Definitely not dangerous. Should we give chase? I think it understood our words. It might be worth asking it some questions. Arenvale, you alright? You look like you've seen a ghost. It's nothing, I'm fine. Well, it went off in that direction we're headed anyway, so let's try to track it down. How much experience do I get for these quests? Almost 1.1 mil, so... Oh yeah. 3 more, and I will be at level 100. There it is. You found it? To the northeast? It must be bound for the mines. Come on then. It could well be a trap, so let's not rush in too quickly. We will definitely go back to it. It's one of our game series that we are still planning to finish. We will finish it. It's just not a top priority, so I can't, you know, say exactly when, but I can give you an eventually. I heard faint voices coming from inside. So it's not alone, but we're still going in, of course. This may be a trap. Be ready for a fight, everyone. I don't think it'll be a trap. I can hear them. Several people up ahead. I can't make out their conversation with the echoing. Let's keep going. Stay on your guard.
What is this?
Ironville!
A trap?
Did you not expect that? Although it's not an instant, so I don't think we'll fight.
It really is you?
Is that his mom? Kohuchia?
Huh?
Who?
I just had to get a look at you in the light. And I can still hardly believe my eyes. But it is you, my darling Olivia.
My darling, what now?
That's what I said when I first heard that name. Hey, welcome back, Ivan.
Oh, it's so good to see you, my fussy little bun bun. What are you doing here? What brings you all this way?
Fussy little bun bun?
Why the long face? Aren't you happy to see me after all this time?
Okay, I don't think this is his mom. I think this might be...
I know that laugh anyway.
Oh, it is.
Mother?
Wait. Since when was your mother a weird floating thing?
She must be somewhere else.
What have we here? Say, aren't you Gulu Jaja's kin? I knew I recognized that adorable fuzzy face. Ellen Spear was always so excited whenever you invited him over to play. You remember me, I hope?
Yeah, you didn't look like this back then, I'm sure.
I can't say that I do.
I mean, I think
But
it's
you know
possible
my
that
father?
maybe she's at a remote location.
Appearances notwithstanding, it would seem this is my mother, Kafkiwa.
Kefkiwa.
I'm sorry?
Oh, this won't do. Come in. Friends of my Ellen Spear are always welcome.
Alright, she could, explain the reasoning behind
All I ask
this
is a
appearance.
little forewarning, but no.
Just when I thought I was starting to get a handle on this place, how are things still getting stranger?
That's a valid question. Alright. No worries, Ivan. As far as I can tell, this is indeed my mother. I can think of a few people in the world quite so spirited. But as to what's happened, we'll need to ask her. I don't know why she wouldn't start with that. Alright, I think I will try to do 2 more quests before I end. Let's hear what she has to say. And that'll get me to level 100. It's so wonderful to meet you all. And the students of Baldessian? It's been a while since I heard that name. Dare I ask the reason for your appearance? Oh, this? It's just a body that I control remotely. I use this for our operations. I feel like that was kind of a given, but... We're members of a resistance organization. Oblivion, we call ourselves, and our goal is to thwart Zerolja's ambition for conquest. Wow. As the leader, it's prudent that I remain where I can't easily be found. I see. Whimsical appearances notwithstanding, it was a serious cause. Right you are. Though truth be told, Oblivion was founded for an altogether different purpose. And that is to thwart the Queen. Is she gonna say that? As I expect you've already noticed, everything you see within this dome, the buildings, the people, the very earth beneath our feet, is a fusion of 2 worlds. Stopping such a fusion was Oblivion's original mission. Well, no disrespect, but you failed in that manner. Then does that mean you know who or what is responsible? I'm afraid not. This was a long time ago, and our mission statement has become more of a legend that's passed down to members. By the time we joined, our sole objective was stopping Zerolja. But we failed to do that, and now he's taken his army outside the dome. We know that. None of you wear those strange devices on your head. Does that have something to do with your work? You mean this? It's a regulator, the pinnacle of electrope technology, and that we don't wear it is indeed related to our operations. What exactly does it do? Allow me to explain. Good. Regulators have 2 primary functions. The first, as the name suggests, is the regulation of the wearer's reserve of souls. Should they die, the regulator expends a soul to bring them back to life. So that's what she meant when she said it's not the end. Reserve. You mean people walking around carrying spare souls? They do. Souls are packaged in cells, and they can be used to replenish the life force that is lost due to sudden death. Such as in accidents. They do nothing for those who die of old age, though. Oof. Distribution of soul cells is based on one's work evaluation, to encourage exemplary performance when fulfilling their duties. Souls as a common resource, and payment for services rendered. That's actually wild. The void sent practice of consuming others for their aether come to mind. And similarly, I expect that the act comes sooner, with some risks. Zero. Doesn't it dilute your sense of self? Wouldn't the consciousness of others corrupt your own? First one. Doesn't it dilute your sense of self? I would think so. That is prevented through memory management, in a process in which regulators also play a role. Memory management? Then the reason everyone has forgotten Namika's existence. The regulators are constantly recording the memories of the wearer. So if they should suddenly die, their memories can be refreshed as part of the restoration process. This is how they preserve one's identity and sense of self. However, the regulators are also triggered when someone else dies. Reason being is that the regulators forcibly extract memories relating to the deceased from anyone wearing it, so they forget all about them. Why would they do such a thing? It's a kindness bestowed upon the people by Everkeep's core system, so that no one has to suffer the pain of loss. So this is what is meant by the memories being in the cloud. Indeed, all memories of the deceased are wiped from the minds of the people and archived in the system. It's a frightening function of the regulators, and an integral step in soul cell production. So I guess that's how they produce more souls, by using the cells of someone who dies and cannot be born again. You see, when a person dies of natural causes, their soul is temporarily housed within the regulator. It's then delivered to a facility where memories are separated from the soul. The result is a fresh soul cell, free of impurities, ready for distribution and consumption. The visual definitely helps. Meanwhile, the memories are stored in the core system to be remembered forever. And this is why people are happy here? On its surface, it's similar to the Yakoi philosophy, but I see nothing noble or comforting in it. I guess if you didn't know, though, you can't really have that opinion. Well, it doesn't seem too terrible to me personally. All comes down to what you're used to, I suppose. Yeah. Like the barrier encasing Alexandria, this system was created to overcome the calamity that transformed the world hundreds of years ago. Amidst the mounting death toll, scientists used Electrope to devise a means to save what lives they could so that the nation could endure. Yes, they did it for the nation, not the people. I understand the people of Alexandria did what they believed was best to save the people. I just find it hard to believe that Turali would also accept this way of living. It came as a shock to us as well. In fact, a great many were opposed to it. Which is why the use of regulators was never compulsory. The people have always been free to go without them if they wish so. Oh, okay. This fiend didn't strike me as a sort of ruler to impose her will on others. Oh, so you've already met. She's the one who suggested we come to the Thunderyards in the first place. She also said she wants us to help stop Zoralja. Awfully kind of her to point you in my direction, and to speak so candidly as well. Whatever her motives, she has given the people a choice. Live with the risk of true death, or the security of the regulators. Everything that lives must die someday. That is the natural order of things. It seems like everyone has chosen the regulators, though. Quite right, but however you feel about them, it would be easier to understand what the regulators are capable of if you saw it for yourself. I know just the person to show you, and as luck would have it, they should be starting work right about now. Who are we going to see exactly? Come with me and you'll find out. Is it going to be Namika? What I want to know is, like, what happens to the body? Because obviously if someone dies of old... Well, okay, they said it doesn't work for old age, but if someone gets into an accident and, like, they're cut in half, they can't just put the souls back in that body, because that body will be useless. Also, if it's the souls being injected to a different body, wouldn't they understand that that's not their body and be confused? I mean, this is all a little confusing if you ask me. Everyone here? Good. It is the responsibility of the Thunderbirds hunters. It is the responsibility of the Thunderyards hunters to fell any fiend found wandering the area. You're here to meet an acquaintance of mine, Strika, one of these hunters. Still not over? This is a long one. Where are you, Strika? Oh. There you are. Oh, it's a female. Kakiwa, what are you doing here? I'm with so many friends. Apologies for the interruption, but I was hoping they might observe you at work. Hunting, you mean? That's fine, I guess. Hold on. I assumed they were wearing special regulators like Queen's Fiend's crown, but they aren't wearing anything at all. It's much too dangerous to be here without one. What if they're struck by lightning or attacked by beasts? I can assure you they're all quite capable of looking after themselves. If anything should go amiss, I will take full responsibility. Well, don't say I didn't warn you. Danger aside, there isn't really much to see. Kokiwa said you're a hunter. Wouldn't it be easier if those mechanical soldiers to guard this place? It would, if not for the fact they're weak to lightning. The Thunderyard being what it is, they've been ordered to steer clear. Some good they are, eh? But the facilities are vital to the upkeep of Alexandria's infrastructure. So it falls to the hunters like me to deal with any fiends. Given the danger, we're well compensated for our work. It's a perfect profession for anyone looking to build up savings. The special selection of souls for hunters isn't terrible either. I brought this lot here to see the danger you speak of, if it's not too much trouble to ask. Of course, in which case, it'd be a shame to waste my efforts on any old beast. You all can handle yourselves in a fight, right? If you cause a ruckus slaying the what critters you see nearby, there's a chance you'll draw something out, worthy of a demonstration. I'm not sure I understand, but I suppose we should each slay what we can. Still not done. This is a really long one. Oh, look what mount it is. People are gonna think that I just got it off Twitch drops. But little do they know, I've already had this for quite some time. Well, thank you for the help, Ethan. Oh, I thought it was just gonna pop up like the last one. This one will do nicely. What's that? Oh, she's a monk. We'll help you. It's fine, really. I've faced worse. Just watch. I don't like the looks of this. Let us help. Oh no. Okay, I think the next time you want to help, don't ask, don't wait, just do it. 12 preserve. She needs healing. You're not even a healer. Oh. Is that what she wanted to show us? That was embarrassing. The bastard caught me off guard. Okay, so that wasn't on purpose. Are you mad? Seriously, let us help. Again, don't ask. Just do it. I told you not to worry. This will only take a moment. Whoa. Damn. Yeah, she's definitely got it all right. Just like Seralja. Come on, let's get out of here. That's also a function of the regulator? I think I understand now how Zerolja was able to return from the dead and defeat Papa, but I'm not sure what we saw at the end there. As soon as the regulator turned red, it was as if you were possessed. Your movements became beast-like. Don't tell me. You empowered yourself with the soul of a beast? I'm reminded of the serpentine soldier we encountered at Vanguard, who did the same. So you've crossed paths with one of the king's elite. Such a form can only be achieved by from gorging yourself on souls. Well, we didn't have to do that. We could do the same in theory, but it's incredibly dangerous. Besides, it's not as if they'd allow hunters to carry that many souls to begin with. Well, I should be getting back to work. Take care. And there you have it. Regulators can be loaded with two kinds of souls. Those of people and those of beasts. The souls of people can be used to grant you the perpetual strength. Naturally, they can also be used to ensure no one suffers an untimely death. And what about the souls of the beast? They work much in the same fashion, imbuing you with the strength of the chosen animal. If, for example, you used the soul of a wolf, you would grow more agile and feral, as you saw with Strika. Using several of the same type at once, however, would result in physical changes. Your teeth might become fangs, nails, claws. Too many and you'll become more beast than man. Changing one's form through the souls of other beings? It becomes more and more reminiscent of Voidsent. Yet unlike the Void, where the cycle of death and rebirth is simply broken, souls here are forcibly taken before they might reach the ethereal sea. Different means to achieve similar ends. A cycle to which all within the dome are bound. This is wrong. This is all wrong. It is indeed hard to accept, being so far removed from our own beliefs. Perhaps more shocking is that the technology to achieve all this was developed hundreds of years ago. The civilization and the reflections are surprising indeed. Okay. While we have our thoughts on souls for now, the important thing is we know what powers Zerolja has at his disposal. It is one thing to separate corporeal ether from incorporeal ether, but to strip memories from the soul entirely is unprecedented technology. This is no longer only Tuliolo's concern. With his newfound power, Zorolja has become a real threat to the entire world. Indeed, he has to be stopped no matter the cost. Okay, this is where I'm going to stop for right now. I'll probably be back on later. We'll see. I definitely want to get to level 100, which I will easily get with this next MSQ. I plan to do that now, but that last quest took way too long. But that's okay. We'll get there. Alright, everybody. Take care, and I'll see you later.